Hello everyone, welcome to another unboxing. It's me, Alan, here today with the first of my Japanese unboxings, with the medium Sensha Platoon. This contains 5 Type 89 Chiro tanks. As you can see on the back, it includes a little bit of history, a couple of diagrams of the tank that you can use for painting, 100% scale, so these are how big the tanks actually are. And then you can also see the Rising Sun organization for the tanks. So, if you're wondering where the Type 89 term comes in, it's because the Japanese calendar is a few hundred years and 60 years away from the Gregorian calendar. So, to them, it was, I believe, 2589 was 1929 to us. So, this tank was first created in 1929, making it one of the oldest tanks you can field in Flames of War, late war. So you got your pretty standard little blister here. Let's see if I'm any better at opening. Yay. So immediately you see what finicky little parts this guy has. It's got this little machine gun. You got to mount 2 of these, one on the back of the turret, and one on the front of the hull. And then in here you've got the metal components, including the tiny little, what are they even called? Trench crossing tools. These were used after the World War I, so that your tank could cross a much longer trench than its track length would indicate. So these would scrape along the ground and allow it to keep pushing forward. You've got your tracks, which are pretty good. Not too much flash, to be honest. It's quite a nice little sculpt for the tracks. You got part of the hull built onto it for easy guidance. And you've got your left right there printed on it. These are impossible to put on the wrong way unless you're really not paying attention. So just pay the minimum amount of attention and you too can put your tracks on the wrong way. So here we have the hulls. You got 5 hulls, 5 turrets, as per usual. The hull has some pretty good detail. I like it's got all the hatches and such built on. Engine deck detail is very nice. I really like the look of the Chiro. There's something about it. It's probably, I don't know, I think it's the World War I tank just barely making it into World War II. Because I also like the Matilda for the same reason. And I mean, you may recognize this as the volleyball tank from Girls und Panzer if you watch that show. If you're like me, that show may have gotten you into Flames of War, and if so, I won't judge you. You may judge me, though, freely. So, below all that, you get hatches, which are like this little guy. Very simple little hatches, as per usual. So Japanese hatches open like with the Soviets. So you have the hatch at the front, so the commander has some bulletproof cover. And then you've got the actual commanders and open hatches for them. Japanese commanders, fun fact, would actually go into battle with katanas. And it wasn't reasonable. They usually weren't able to do anything with their katanas, but it's really cool to have your commanders with katanas, in my opinion. My commander will likely have his sword drawn and charging. Well, you also got more sane commanders with binoculars or just pointing fingers. You also have the main gun, which is a Type 57. Again, I assume that indicates it's year of first manufacture, but I believe that would indicate the Emperor Showa, or the Emperor between Showa and Hirohito, perhaps. I forget his name. It was a horribly inefficient tank gun by the end of the war. You are, well, in Flames of War terms, this anti-tank gun is 85, so you're barely penetrating things like Stuarts on the front armor. On the side armor, you're barely penetrating Shermans. You cannot penetrate larger tanks, such as Panthers or anything like that. Anyway, that's my little unboxing and review. I decided to put a little more review into this one because I really want to play Japanese Army. It's kind of what got me into Flames of War, to be honest. The reason I got into other armies is mostly because of the cheap, like, starter sets, like the Open Fire and such. And then one of my good chums here in the California gaming group that I'm part of gave me a free Finnish army. Well, not free, but practically free Finnish army to get me started off right in Flames of War. So that's why I play a little smattering of everything now. But I will likely be embracing my first love of this game, which is the Japanese, because who doesn't love some raving and insane lunatics charging forward and stabbing everything you can with swords. Anyway, my little unboxing and rant has gone on long enough. I bid you guys the night. If you liked it, leave me a like, leave me a comment. If you didn't like it, leave me a comment, tell me why you didn't like it. Punch me in the face in the comment section. This has been Alan. Have a good night.